Alright, so I was watching Grey's Anatomy. Puff Puff, stop being a nutter. And it really pissed me off because, spoilers if you haven't seen the old, I'm on season like 3 or something. Um, Izzy and George have been best friends all this time and never once thought of each other in any kind of sexual way because George was in love with Meredith all that time. But Izzy and George have always been just best friends. Now, all of a sudden, George is married to Callie, and she's insecure, and she's like, well, you care about Izzy's opinion more than you care about me. You always take her side, and it's because and she hates me because she's in love with you, and you have feelings for her, and that's why you always take her side. And I'm like, no, he takes her side because they're best friends. Like that's just you know bros before hoes, chicks before dicks. That's just how it is. Izzy and George have always been best friends. They've just been best friends since they started their internship. That's just how it is. And then all of a sudden, they get drunk, Izzy and George, and then they sleep together. And now, like, Izzy is like, oh, maybe I am in love with George. And I'm like, no! Oh, I hate when they do this in TV shows because it's that common trope that if you are a guy and a girl and you're best friends, one of you has unrequited. Said that word wrong. But one of them always ends up having unresolved feelings for the other one, or they finally realize that they've been in love with each other all this time, and their friendship wasn't really a friendship. It was just them being in love, but they just didn't know it yet. And that's bullshit because that invalidates male and female relationships and makes it seem like it's completely impossible for them to be just friends. Like someone's always going to develop feelings for the other one, or it's always going to happen like that. And it's fucking bullshit, and I'm tired of it because I have a few best friends. Most of them are female, but one of them, my friend Matt, is one of my best friends. And I love Matt. I would take his side over anything, if he had a fight with his girlfriend or whatever, he's right, she's wrong. Unless he's totally wrong, and in which case, stop being an idiot, you're being wrong. But I mean, like, he's my best friend. I'm always going to stick up for him, and he's always going to be my person. But it really pisses me off, and I think the reason why this is resounding with me so much is because I just hung out with him yesterday, and somebody at work was like, oh, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, oh, I'm hanging out with my friend Matt. And they're like, ooh, Matt and Angel sitting in a tree. And I'm like, no, he's just my friend Matt. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right. I was like, okay, well, he has a girlfriend, but even if he didn't, he is just my friend. And they were like, oh, okay, he has a girlfriend. And I'm like, does that somehow mean something? Like, I can only be friends with him if he has a girlfriend, because I hate to break it to you, but we were friends long before he found her. And it really pisses me off because we are friends, and I'm like, we're friends. That's it. That's all there is. It's just me and Matt are friends. And they're like, oh, so what are you guys all doing tonight? I was like, well, me and Matt are probably gonna go get dinner, and then we're gonna go to the bookstore, and then we're gonna go back to his house, and we're gonna watch some anime because we haven't watched anime in a while. And they're like, oh, okay. And his girlfriend, is she going too? And I was like, no, I think she's going out with her friends, because usually that's what happens, is like she goes out with her girlfriends, whatever, and then I come over and hang out with him, because it's like that way they can do things with their own friends and they don't have to feel like they have to constantly be together, because when you're together with somebody too much, you start to get on each other's nerves. So you have to go be with your own friends and not have to deal with them. So usually when she goes out with her girlfriends, I go over and hang out with him, because all of his other friends are up in Pennsylvania. But whatever. So I was like, no, I think she's going out with her friends. And they're like, oh, and she allows you to just hang out with him, just the two of you? I'm so tired of that question. As if she had a problem with it, as if she rules my friendship with Matt, as if she said, oh, no, that's not okay, he would suddenly stop hanging out with me. That's not going to happen, because I would not allow that to happen. I'd be like, oh, hey, Matt, you want to go have dinner or something? And he'd be like, sorry, my girlfriend says I can't go. I'd be like, okay, first of all, get in the car. Second of all, meet me there, because if you don't show up, I will come to your apartment, and then I will have a screaming match with your girlfriend, because you are my friend, and we were friends first. Does she think I'm going to suck your dick in the car? Does she think that I'm going to do something with you? Like, we've been friends all this time before she even showed up. If I wanted to do that with you, I would have done it already. What, all of a sudden, oh my god, he has a girlfriend, now all of a sudden I'm totally into him and I totally want him. No, he's my friend and I love him. And I'm like, I just can't. Men and women can be just friends. And I'm so sick of the stereotype saying that they can't. And when you do this in shows, it invalidates male-female relationships, because it always shows that if there's a guy and a girl and they're best friends, one of them is longing for the other one. And sometimes that trope can be very cute. And I'm not saying I don't read it and I don't enjoy it in fanfics and stuff or watch it in movies. I do. But when it's constantly there, when it's always every single one is there, it's just bullshit. Because why can't men and women just be friends? Ever. For any reason. And when they are just friends, it's always because it's like, oh, like, my best friend Jamie and her boyfriend. Oh, well, now I'd be friends with her boyfriend because it's my best friend's boyfriend. So it's like we're friends, but we're platonic friends because he's already fucking someone else. So you're telling me that a single male and a single female can't just be friends because of what reason? Because the sex compels, oh, gotta have the sex! That's not a thing. It's not a fucking thing. I mean, it blows my mind that people think that it is, and that you say that, oh, men and women can't be friends, because they can. Sex is not the number one thing. It's important as it is in a romantic relationship, but it is not anywhere. I don't have sex with my friends. I don't know if you have sex with your friends. Maybe you do. Maybe that's how you communicate, and that's fine. I don't have sex with my friends, so that's not something that matters. So I don't understand why they say that men and women can't just be friends. We can. Just because they aren't a lot of times doesn't mean that they can't be. And just because it doesn't work out a lot of times also doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. And what really makes me mad is that I have a hard time thinking of a movie or something where a guy and a girl were just friends and they stayed that way as just friends, because I honestly can't, like, nothing comes to mind, and that is sad. That is fucking sad. Because I think of, like, I'm like, what? Oh, in Friends? Okay, well, they all got together. I'm like, okay, well, like, Kim Possible, they got together. I'm like, even Rugrats, it was, like, heavily implied that, like, Tommy and Lil were totally going to be together at some point or another. And I'm talking about an all grown up, like, when they're babies. That's just gross. Get that out of your head right now. I'm talking about when they were, like, little preteen babies. But, I mean, like, yeah. Even in, like, I can't even think of, like, every show that I think of. If there's a female and a male introduced and they're friends, unless one of them is gay or already in a relationship, they can't just be friends. They can't just be two heterosexual people in a relationship that is a friendship and just be friends. That's just impossible because the powers of boners, I guess. It really pisses me off because, and it came up again because I was watching Grey's Anatomy and they did this shit, and it really pissed me off because Izzy and George were the best friends, and it really pisses me off because now it's going to be this whole, oh, I've been in love with you thing, and I'm just like, oh, but they were best friends. Where did this come from? Just more drama to add to the fucking pot because George is married, and now all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my god, please, can we not do this? Can we not do this? And then it pisses me off because it's crap. And then coupled with the fact that just yesterday I had to deal with this crap from people at work who were like, I can't believe his girlfriend allows you to hang out with him, just the two of you. She must really trust you. What? First of all, you should trust the person you're with, because if you don't trust them, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with that person. Second of all, not every single person wants to have sex with every single person of the opposite sex. Okay? Just because he's a guy doesn't mean he wants to have sex with every single female. Just because I'm a female doesn't mean I want to have sex with every single male. That's not how it works. That's not what that means. Take out of the equation that I don't even really care about sex and I don't really want it right now. Take that out of it, even if that doesn't matter. What the fuck? What the fuck? No, seriously, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let males and females have relationships. And if we allowed them to be friends when they were younger and not put this stipulation on, oh, well, we have to keep the door open at all times and guys and girls can't just be friends because, oh, no, the sex. Stop. Take that taboo out of there. Let people be friends with whoever the fuck they want to be friends with, and then maybe we wouldn't have this problem and people wouldn't question my fucking friendships with my friends because they feel like I want to go and fuck him or suck his dick or do whatever. He's my friend and I don't want to do that. And I'm really sick of people invalidating male and female relationships. They're just as strong as female-female relationships and male-and-male relationships. They can be just as powerful. Sorry that was a long rant, but really pissed me off and I'm tired of shows doing it. It's fucking tired cliche. Let it die.